We are starting today's video at the end of the day because it has been busy and I have not had the chance really to film. I'm so tired I could cry, but that would take energy that I don't have. I was going to snuggle up to these towels, but there's like marks on them, so maybe not. So today's video is a vlog. You guys know I have been a lifelong Supernatural fan. You changed me is one of Castiel's last lines that he ever spoke. The B, where is it? The B on my hand is for Cass. I mean, I have the handprint. He's my favourite character from anything ever. And he has been since I was 13 or 14, a bit younger maybe. So, I planned this convention trip and was like, I really want to meet him and I haven't met him before and it would make my life. The last time I slept was Wednesday night. Because Thursday night, last night, I couldn't sleep because I had to get the 1 AM bus to Dublin Airport. So I could be there for 4 to check in to make my, I think it was 6:15 flight, right? This is where things take a turn. Misha Collins is one of my favourite people. I just think he's swell. He's funny, he's sweet, he's very political and involved in things that matter and that matter to him. And I just think he's great. I'm also kind of in love with him, but we're gonna pass that up. So I'm there at my gate, okay? I'm tired. Again, let me reiterate, I haven't slept. Sitting at my gate, I have my headphones on. I'm listening to Taylor Swift's new album, obviously, because I finally have time to listen to it now. Trying to dissect the lyrics, and someone catches my attention because somebody walks and stands kind of beside me. I'm sitting down. So I look up to be like, there is hundreds of other seats you could sit in. What are you doing standing there? It's Misha fucking Collins. I shit you not. He's just standing there, looking at the board, trying to see if this was the flight for Birmingham. He's just standing there. And there's a moment, let me tell you, he looks at me, I look at him. It's like that Weird Al song. My boots want to steal the moment, and I do want to give them a moment to shine because I hate them and I want them to burn in hell. They're not made for walking. They don't want to do it. So it's Misha. It is him standing beside me. He notices me, I notice him. We look, we exchange. I nearly die. I have never been that stunned in my life. The last person you expect to see in Dublin Airport at 5 AM is the man that you are flying to Birmingham to meet. What are the chances? So he sits down 2 rows behind me and I'm sitting there grappling with myself. Don't go up to him, leave him alone, don't be annoying. But there's also that voice in my head that's like, you have waited 15 years to meet him. Just go over and say hi. What's the worst that can happen? Don't bother him, don't be annoying, but say hello. So I walk over to him and instantly he just goes, and then looks at me because he knew that he knew. And he was like, I knew. And I was like, hi. And I just said, hey, I just want to say I'm going to the convention that you're going to. And I'm a massive fan and I have been for 15 years. And I've waited very long to meet you. And he was like, oh, wow. Oh, here we are kind of deal. And I was like, yeah. And then he starts to stand up and he's like, you want to take a selfie? And he had earbuds in, earbuds. So I was like, no, it's fine. Because I didn't want to bother him. I wasn't going over to get a selfie. I was going over to just say hello and have a genuine human connection kind of deal. So he kind of looked at me like, okay, and sat back down. And I was like, no, I don't want to bother you or, take you out of whatever you're doing. Because he had a computer on his lap, like a laptop on his lap. And I was like, I don't want to take you out of what you're doing. I just came to say hi. And I'm very excited to meet you. And I'm very excited for the convention. Walked away from him. Sat back down in my seat. My back was to him. And I was just so anxious and uneasy that I was like, I need to take a walk. Took a walk, got some potatoes, sat back down, had a bottle of water. Still knowing he was sitting directly behind me and I couldn't turn or half turn to look at him because he'd look up and make direct eye contact with me. And I didn't want to be like a stalker. I was like Edward Cullen on the fucking prowl or on the hunter. So it was like I could feel him behind me. I took one sneaky picture of him, which I did feel really bad about. But I just wanted to have it as proof that it did happen. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't snapping pictures every 5 seconds, freaking stalking, And then the whole time on the plane, I was like, I'm flying with my favourite angel. It's the first time I haven't been afraid on a plane. I've talked about it in vlogs before. I'm deathly afraid of flying. I'm talking like sweaty hands, dizziness, shortness of breath. I don't do well on planes. It's the first time ever I didn't once think about the flight. I didn't once think I'm scared or I'm nervous. I actually didn't want to land. So that was how I started my trip, which truly there's no better way to start your trip than being surprise attacked by one of your favourite people. And then today was Friday, so I got to Birmingham and I'm staying at the Ibis tonight. I'll give you a room tour in a second, don't worry. The convention's on in the Hilton, which I'm staying at tomorrow night. It's a long story. I couldn't book the 3 nights in the Hilton, it was sold out. So I'm staying here tonight. So I went to the convention, got checked in. I got all my stuff. Again, I'll show you them in a sec. I got my laminate, my wristband that says Crossroads that you can't even see because of the tattoos. What else did I get? I don't remember. I'm starting to crash pretty bad. I met up with Megan, who is a friend of mine that we met years ago at a convention, at a Walking Dead convention. And we've kind of met up at a good few conventions since. And it turns out that she was going to this one. And next weekend, I'm going to Liverpool as well. You'll see that later in the video. She's also going to that too. We were like, dude, what was the chances? And let me tell you, she is an angel. I was very nervous about this whole thing because I've never done this convention. I don't know how it was run, like what the lowdown was. And she really did help me through today and just kind of explained it to me. And I feel really good. It's Friday night. I think it's nearly 10. It's nearly 10 or nearly 11, one or the other. So I'm probably going to have something to eat, go to sleep and get up really early so I can shower, get dressed, get ready to move to the Hilton, to check in and to go to the convention. I just can't believe that I've waited all this time to meet him. And there he was. On my plane. He might have cured my fear of planes. I wonder what I'll be like on the plane going home. So this is the room. It's fucking tiny. It does the job. There's a bed I can sleep in. As you can see, I've been, I don't know, trying to like fix my bag for tomorrow. So there's the bed. Then there's the teeny tiny little sitting area with the telly. Oh, I wonder can I see actually the airport? Nope, we can't. I was going to try and open that, but I can't. There's a great view of the airport. And then you have the bathroom conjoined with the bedroom, which is kind of weird. I do agree. There's just a floating sink by itself. There's a mirror. That really takes some pounds off, huh? It straight up halves your head. A strange layout, the way that this room is, I must say. This is the shower. Not a lot going on in there. Nice size mirror, we like. And then the bathroom is my favourite part of this whole room. This is it right here. Look at this. It looks like a tiny square box with the light of God shining down upon you while you pee. I'm so tired I could cry, but it has been one of the best days of my life. I'm whispering because it's nighttime and people might be sleeping. I met one of my favourite people today by accident. I'm never getting over the fright of that. He frightened the shit out of me just by being there. He should come with a warning or an alarm. So I'll check in with you tomorrow morning before leaving this hotel to go to the Hilton to check in and to go to the convention. So, oh my God, look, there's so many me's. Whoa. I also think it's worth noting that when I met Misha, this room's definitely haunted. That's the top I was wearing. The sound of no fucks. Let me tell you, there was so many fucks given. My hands were trembling with nerves. I thought I was going to vomit after I spoke to him, but like in a good way, because I really do love him an awful lot. I think I need to go to bed. Am I rambling? I also didn't pack pajamas. So this is what my weekend looks like. Sunday, I've got Misha in costume as Cass. I've got Jim Beaver and Mark Shepherd. I think I have this. I'm not sure what day that's on. I have Alex and Rob tomorrow and Misha on his own tomorrow. I'm trying to figure out this fucking schedule, man. I feel like I'm back at school trying to read a timetable. Jesus. But it is really cool. They give you this little booklet with like information. They give you this, which is, it's going to come in so handy. You can tick off who you get as you get it. Oh, that's lovely as well. It's a Supernatural convention and the boys convention this time. Those are the two guests that they chose. So it's lovely that they included Chance. Also got these two cool prints. I think this is going to be what I get signed tomorrow. There's one for the boys, which is upside down. absolute breakfast of champions. We're having a potato sandwich and a buttermilk nugget bar. So good morning. It is Saturday morning, day one. Well, technically day two, but day one of like the events at the convention. I am dressed and ready to go. I feel kind of plastic because I have my hairsprayed to bejesus so it doesn't fall down. I haven't seen what the back of it looks like. But the back of my head is nobody's business. I just realised I can see it in the mirror. Wait. Okay, that's not too bad. It's not too good either. Yeah, I think we're good to go. It's 8 o'clock. I don't know if I mentioned what time it is. It's 8 o'clock. Oh, I'm trying to close the shower door and it fucking bit me. It's 8 o'clock. I need to go from this hotel to the other one, to the Hilton. Check in, hopefully get a room. I really hope they have a room for me. If not, I'm just going to take my bags. Take my bags and I have to leave because I have a convention. I wasn't really feeling it when I got dressed, but this outfit's kind of nice. I'm feeling it now. These boots are killing me. I'm feeling kind of okay about myself today, which is strange. This is the view I was trying to show you last night that I flopped because I couldn't get the curtain open. Look at that. I've been watching planes take off and land like all morning long. Ooh, is that one about to take off or about to land? It's a fun game I've been playing with myself all morning. Go on, you good thing. Go on, get up out of that. Oh, my phone just switched quality. No, don't switch quality for the takeoff. Maybe he's not taking off. Where are you going? So yeah, I think I'm going to go now and try and get checked into the Hilton and hopefully they'll have a room for me. Please God, please Jesus, have a room. Gotta walk from the train thing on through the NEC to get to the Hilton. It is currently, what time is it? 1 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock. This morning I had my photo op with Misha and I had a dual photo op with Alexander and Rob. Oh, I didn't show you the room. I don't think you guys care. This is the Hilton. It's pretty nice. I'm filming selfie mode now, so I'm gonna have to film everything like backwards. It's very nice. It's a lot nicer than the last room that I was in, which wouldn't be hard to be fair now, would it? I met Misha this morning, officially. I met him at the airport yesterday, but I met him officially today. He seemed tired. He seemed jet lagged, which I guess he was. Very sweet. I asked for just a regular hug photo op style thing and he was like, yeah, sure. So we took it and that was it. It was really fast. Oh, these pillows are comfortable. I'm sinking. And it's the Alex and Rob photo op that shocked me most. So Jack is one of my favourite characters in Supernatural. I love him and I would defend that little sweet baby boy with my life. He's done nothing wrong a day, ever. So I love Jack and I always have. So I went into the photo op knowing I was going to be excited because I love him. And I also love Rob, who plays Chuck. He's a super sweet guy. So I walked up and the first thing he said was, well, lads, how's it going? And Alex kind of looked at me and I went, well, how's it going? How are you? And he was like, I'm a lad. I've always wanted to be a lad. And I was just like, he is so beautiful. So I took the photo. I still haven't seen them yet. I haven't got my printouts yet. I think they might be done soon. I hope they are because I'm getting kind of impatient. Also, speaking of impatience, guess who cracked and took money out of the ATM so she could buy more autographs? I said I wasn't going to do it and then I did. Would you expect anything less from me? So that's been the day so far. This afternoon I think I have Misha's autograph. I'm hoping to buy Mark's autograph, Alex's autograph and somebody else's that I can't remember. This is a very oddly laid out convention, I have to say. It's kind of hard to understand. It's not like a straightforward con, like there's ways that things are timed and it's finding it a little bit difficult, but I'm okay, I'm hanging in. Okay, so I am just back from some panels. I went to the Rob, Alex and Mark panel and that was really good. The three of them have insane chemistry. And then I stayed in the panel room for Misha's panel. Misha had a panel that was an hour long. That was so funny as well. He's fantastic on a stage. It's like he just switches something on. Yeah, but that's what I've been doing for the last 2 hours. Now I'm like, I have it down. It's really hard to explain. It's even harder to understand. Autographs are done by your badge number, right? So my badge, I've never done a Crossroads before. And most people here have. So everyone just expects you to know what's going on. You know what I mean? I am badge number 1131, right? So that's where I'm going to be in the line, I think. And it starts at like 3. So I went there and your man was like, no, come back at like 5 or 6. And I was just trying to get clarification, like, is that when my number? Yeah, come when your number's called. And I was like, well, how am I not going to know when my number's called? Because there's no like loudspeaker, there's nothing. You just got to go up and ask the person. And he seemed a bit pissed off that I was asking, because I asked earlier as well. Like, it's really well run. Like, the people who work here, they know what they're talking about, but it just kind of, it's sad that they just expect everyone else to know. And I do a lot of conventions, but it's different. This is just run different, and the format's kind of weird. Maybe it's just too smartly done for me to get, and that's why I'm confused. But yeah, I'm probably just going to eat something and relax for an hour before I go down. And I'm half afraid to go up to your man again and ask him, am I on time now? Because I think he'll just lose his shit. The photo op system was always kind of strange for collecting. So they don't print them straight away. You have to keep going back to the desk. You're given like a number on your ticket, and you have to keep going back and checking if your group has been done. I don't know, but I got mine back anyway. So that's my photo with Misha. I think I look like an alien, but look, it is what it is. And my photo with Alex and Rob. Just going back down to hopefully get some autographs. Wish me luck. Even though you can't because you're in the future. Alright, so a lot has happened since I last checked in. I'm just back to the room again to drop off some stuff before I try and go and find some food, because the hotel does nothing gluten-free. Wow, what an afternoon. So it was confusing, to be honest, but I figured it out. So today I met for autos. I got Misha. Did I just say for autos? Well, if I didn't, I'm saying it again. Autograph-wise, I met Misha, Mark Shepherd, Alexander Calver, and Rob Benedict. Oh my goodness. So Misha was lovely. I don't know, I think he's jet lagged or something, because he looks, it's not that he looks tired, his vibe is just kind of tired, you know, so I think he's probably feeling the jet lag. But he was so sweet, and I got to tell him, like, thank you for being cast, because I see a lot of me in him, and he means an awful lot to me. And then I met Mark Shepherd, who plays Crowley, who I have loved for years. He is crazy. So I went up to him and I went, well, how's it going? And he went, where are you from? And I went, Ireland. And he went, where are you from? And I thought he didn't hear me, so I went, Ireland. And he went, where? I went, oh, Limerick. Where? I was like, damn, do you want my fucking postcode, my area code? So I told him the name of a thing that I live near, without doxing myself on the internet. I told him near where I lived, and he was like, oh yeah, I know that place well. And then we got talking about bars and pubs in Limerick and stuff. And he was like, my band played there back, can't remember what he said, my band played there before. And I was like, oh, really? Like, and he was like, yeah. Mark Shepherd didn't go, yeah. He was like, yeah, I mean, you know, it was a long time ago. And he started naming, the Savoy. He named the Savoy. He was like, we played the Savoy. And I was like, that is going back a while. That's not there anymore. And he was like, yeah. And he named somewhere else. And I went, fuck off. The Jeffrey Dean Morgan thing happened to me, lads. It happened to me when I met this exact thing happened to me when I met Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He said something and my response was, fuck off. Because that's a very Irish saying. It means like, wow. And Mark Shepherd went, I won't fuck off. And then everybody around me started laughing. And I was like, I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it that way. It's a saying. I wasn't telling you. And he was like, I know what you were saying. And then we got talking about stuff like that. And I was like, I know it's hard to book gigs because my brother's in a band and it's really hard to book gigs for him. And he was like, well, this is going back before any of that, where like anybody could get signed and it was a lot easier. He was so kind and lovely. I think I fell a little bit in love with him, or at least more in love with him than I was. I went and met Rob, who plays Chuck/God. He is an absolute sweetheart. Now, the story with him is really personal. So, like, I liked his character. And I said this to him, like, I liked your character. I liked Chuck. And I loved the take that he took towards the end. I said, but my mother, being completely honest, my mother didn't like Supernatural. Like, she said it was shit. And he just kind of started laughing. And I was like, but during 2020, when all that started happening, she needed something, I think, to distract her. So I was like, Mom, watch Supernatural with me. And she was like, oh my God, you're never going to leave me alone. So we started it. And it was the episode actually that it was revealed that Chuck was God. My mother lost her shit. I'll never forget it. It was a Tuesday afternoon. We were sitting in my room watching it on my telly. And I mean, she paused it, stood up, like, I walked around the room and was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Since when? Since when, Chuck? And I told this to him and he was laughing. And I was like, so like, you know, thank you for putting time and energy from your life into this. For me, it's meant a lot over the years, but for her, she needed that distraction at a very, very terrible time. Because she was very stressed during that year because she works in a nursing home and stakes were very high. And he was just like, oh my God, wow. Like, and he really honestly looked touched, not like pretending to be empathetic, you know what I mean? He actually looked like he gave a shit. So it was really lovely getting to meet him. He told me he loved my tattoos and he was like, I love your little disco ball. He's the first person to ever get that right. I've had people say, is it a grenade? Is it the moon? The moon. People have asked me if this is the moon. Yes. And then last was Alex, who plays Jack. Castiel was my favourite character, still is, but I have such a deep love for Jack as a character. He is so fantastically written and such, I love him so much. Before I got up to the table, this is my sheet so far, by the way, a lady said, do you want to personalise? And I went, oh yeah, and then without thinking, she said, what's your name? And without thinking, I gave my name. I didn't want my name on it, I wanted him to write something so I could get it tattooed. So when I got up to him, my sheet was put in front of him and I saw him look at the sticky note that said Kate, and he looked up at me and he went, you've got a lot of colour going on about my tattoos. And I just instantly went, yeah, can you not write my name? And he looked at me and went, and looked down at the sheet then and was about to sign. I went, no, can you not write my name? Can you instead write hello for me? Because for those of you who don't know, that's Jack's thing. Hello. But he didn't really get it. I went, can you write hello? And he went, okay. And he wrote it, and then I went, I'm getting it tattooed. And he went, I've already written it now. No, it's fine. I don't care. I'll still get it. And I thanked him again for putting so much time and energy into the show, because I said, I see a lot of myself in Jack. And I just think he's fucking brilliant, and I think you're amazing. And he was like, I'm all right. And I was like, no, you're not. You're fucking great. So I'll probably insert an actual picture of this. Where's Jack's little hello? There it is. Alex's little hello. There's Mark Shepherd's. He signed it in gold, which is kind of strange because of the wing. There's Misha's. And down there is Rob's. So I'm really happy with how today went. Once I figured it out, I won't say it was easy because it wasn't. I was a little bit confused. But I'm happy with how today went overall. And I just want to eat, because the last few days all I've eaten is like a pack of potatoes and like 2 slices of gluten-free bread that fell apart in my suitcase on the way over here. And this is the walk back to the Hilton. I've got my Five Guys, which is just chips. It'll do. I had the weird experience though. I've been smiling at everyone because I'm a friendly person. And I smiled at 2 lads, and when they went, she fucking smiled at you, what the fuck? And I was like, okay, fuck yourself then, you knobhead. I had my chips and I'm feeling a little bit more human, I suppose. I think I'm just a bit overwhelmed. I think it's been a lot because I was waiting for this. Like I was waiting to meet the cast over half of my life. And I think I'm just tired and hungry. There's like no gluten-free food in this hotel, so anytime I want to eat, I have to either eat. I bought like popcorn and like bread with me, but if I'm hungry for like food, I gotta walk to Five Guys, and I'm like, oh my god, I just can't be arsed. I mean, I think the most surprised that I was probably was Mark, because he was so funny and bitchy, and Alex as well was lovely. So was Rob. They were all lovely. Everybody was lovely. I think I'm just having a moment of like, today happened. I did it. I met the people that I've been watching for years, you know? I do realise most of what I've filmed so far is just me in the room. I hope I'm going to splice that together with footage that I'm going to take later on today. I'll try and film some of the halls and rooms for you. But you can't actually. I was trying to text my mum this morning after my photo ops. So I had my photo with Misha and then my photo with Rob and Alex. And I was trying to text my mum, and I got the shakes. I don't know why. Meeting Alex for some reason hit so hard. I must love Jack an awful lot more than I had thought. And I was walking away and my legs just started to go funny, and then I started to see like black spots in front of my eyes, and I was like, okay, I gotta sit down. And I was trying to text my mum because she's my chill pill. She keeps me calm. And they're like, you can't have phones in here. And I was like, I know, I just need a moment. They're like, no, you can't have phones in here. I was like, Jesus, okay, fucking hell. I was down the other end of the room to where the photos were, to where the photo ops were happening. It's not like I was up in their faces trying to take pictures of them. But yeah, it's been a good day. I'm just, I don't know. I think I just miss home and I'm tired. So it's currently 7:15, I think, on the Sunday morning. I am so tired. Okay, I partied for a lot of last night. I feel like a lot has happened since I last checked in, but I can't remember when I last checked in. Catch you up to speed. I went to the after party last night, which was so much fun. That was one of the best DJs I've ever heard. If there were clubs that played 5 Seconds of Summer, Taylor Swift, and stuff like that, I think I'd actually go to clubs. I might go clubbing. She played Unpredictable, and she looked so perfect by 5 Seconds of Summer. Unpredictable caught me off guard because that's not one that most people would know. You know what I mean? So that was put on the set list for a reason, and I was like, okay. Somebody requested Taylor Swift. I nearly lost my fucking mind, broke my ankles to get to the dance floor. It was fun. It was so much fun. It's currently 8:45, I think, in the morning. I have my bags packed, kind of, and I'm going to head down in probably a few minutes to check out, drop my bag in the baggage hold, and then go back into the convention. So my flight is at 9 tonight, but I have to be at the airport. My gates close at like, I think 8:15-ish. I don't know. What's it like out? Is it raining? Oh, can you see? There's an Impala down there. There's a guy just driving his Impala around and around the place. What timing. I'm going to try and find that man today and get a picture with his car. That sounds like really stalkerish, I know, but that's my plan. He didn't see me, did he? Look how sexy that looks, just driving around the parking lot. Oh my God. I think I have everything packed. I mean, there's always something, do you know what I mean? There's always something you forget. When you're on your way out the door with the bags, you suddenly look and you go, I don't think so. Anyway, look, this shower is so hard to understand. The only thing I can describe it as is naked and afraid. I had to stand there for like 5 minutes playing with those goddamn nozzles, trying to figure out how do I make it even some bit hot. I just want a temperature that is not Arctic blast. It's been stressful, but at the same time it has been everything that I wanted it to be. Like, I got to meet the people I wanted to meet. I got to hang out with some nice girls. It was fun, you know. Today now I'm meeting Cass. So Misha's dressed up as Castiel. So technically I'm meeting Castiel, okay. Mark Shepherd and Jim Beaver. It's a duo photo op. And I might go around and try and get some autographs. There's a few that are free. That's not flattering lighting for anyone. Let's move away from that. There's some that's free in my pass. So I don't know if I explained this, but I got the regular pass. And you get a bunch of free autographs with that, which is really cool. This is who you can get at the con. So far I have Misha, Mark, Rob and Alex. I'm hoping to get Jim today. I'm hoping to get Stephen Williams, Tomer, Cindy, Todd and Corn, sorry. So that's the plan. He's passing again. Is he passing again? Is he? I hear you. I hear you. Oh, he is. Can we please be friends? Please come back. Oh, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Don't come back. Does he see me? What is he doing? Does he see me? I'm a little bit paranoid now. I think he saw me. What's he doing? What's he doing? What are you doing? Why have you stopped in the middle of the road? Okay, it has just gone 5 and I'm currently walking home. The Hilton is just back that way through all them bushes. I think that's the NEC over there. I've been here 2 days and I haven't gone like exploring anything. The furthest I've gone was to Five Guys, which is over there. Resort World, I think it's called. Oh, today's been so busy. Oh my God. I don't know what they are. Are they geese or are they fucking chickens or what? But they're vicious. Saw them running at people yesterday. Flap your wings at me, sir.
We're about to depart for Birmingham Airport.
I'm heading back to the airport. I've been awake since 7 AM this morning. I have met so many people. Please stop with the copyright music.
I am home. It has been the longest few days. Oh my God, I just took off my nail varnish and I forgot to paint my nails. That is not it. So the last day, which was the Sunday, oh my God, I got so much done. The morning, I had to check out of the hotel and drop my bag drop. And then I had 3 photo ops. So I had a photo with Jim and Mark. I had a solo photo with Misha dressed as Castiel. And then on the morning, 9:30 that morning, by the way, I decided I need a solo photo op with Alex, who plays Jack, because I just love him. I think he's brilliant and he's so nice in real life. So I decided to get a duo or a solo with him and had to run from my room down to where you exchange your email for a little ticket so you can get into the room. It's I'll put up a picture of what the tickets look like because it was kind of confusing, but once you get the hang of it, it's not that confusing. And I feel like the whole convention was kind of like that. I was lost on the Saturday. And you probably see that in my videos. Like, I was confused and slightly pissed off because of how confusing it was. But on the Sunday, once I had the rundown of everything, it was fine. Also, I got in at like 2 o'clock last night. And didn't shower or nothing. So my hair has been done since yesterday morning. This hairspray is industrial, I must say. Industrial strength. So I ran down to get my Alex photo op sorted, entered the photo op room, which was like a big hall, and it was just my luck, thank God, that all the photo ops I was getting that morning were all in the same room. So there was a bit of confusion. I was in line for Misha as Cass, because I think that photo op was happening first, but then they were like, no, you have to go across the hall to the other one, because the the Jim and Mark photo op is happening first, so you have to go over there. So I went over there, but the steward was like, no, they're not queuing yet for that. But then the queue that was there were like, no, we are, I'm here for that photo op. Anarchy. So then the steward was like, no, go back over to your Misha photo op and stay in that line. So I went over there. Our line started moving to go in and meet Misha, and then the other line was like, last call for Jim and Mark, and I just went, huh? Thankfully there was lovely people around me in the queue, and they were like, just run, just go, we'll save your spot, you can come back to us. So I sprinted over, got in line just in time, got to go. I didn't even check if the audio was okay on this. Oh, I always do a proof check. So got in line for the duo with the two boys, went in to meet them. They were both so lovely. Mark was like, well, hello, sweetheart. And you don't really get time to talk to them in the photo ops. So I just quickly was like, hey, oh my God, I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Stood, took the picture, looked up at Jim, and he was just looking at me smiling. And I was like, that is Bobby fucking Singer. And then looked, and there was Crowley just standing beside me. So I was like, goodbye. Went out around to pick up my bag, and then had to sprint back across the hall to get into Misha's line. And the girl and the two people that had been holding my spot, they were like 8th or 9th next to go into the room, and it was moving fast. So I got there and was like, oh, okay, thank you guys so much for holding my space. And they're like, no problem, like, yeah, you did it, you made it. Turned the corner then, because you queued along a wall, and there was like a big backdrop, a big photographic backdrop. So turned the corner, and there he was. He was standing there dressed as Cass in his coat and his suit and tie. He walked into the hall earlier dressed as Cass, and everyone started clapping. And I remember looking up and being like, what are we clapping at? And seeing him just walk past me dressed as Castiel. And I think that's what hit me more than anything. Because like I said, I met Misha in the airport, which is probably one of my favourite memories I have in my brain bank. That's my favourite. Looking up and seeing Misha Collins stand right in front of me in a random departure lounge at 6 o'clock on a Friday morning. Nothing's going to beat that. By him walking past me dressed as Castiel, that's up there, I have to say. Also, I was in the middle of trying on clothes because I'm doing Liverpool convention this weekend and I don't know what I want to wear, so I'm like half dressed and I have like 3 tops underneath this. Anyway, so then it was my turn, and I went up to him, and he just turned and kind of held out his arm and was smiling, and I was like, oh my God. And I've never felt that, like, because actors aren't their characters. I always say that, yeah? It's cool to meet an actor that you like their work or you like their characters, but I've never met an actor ever in costume as their character. And he is probably my favourite character of all time and has been for years. Castiel is just so special to me, and seeing him dressed as him, I felt like a kid. I felt like I forgot that it wasn't real. You know, it felt real. So we took the picture, and then I just looked up at him, and he was rubbing my back and smiling at me, and I was just like, thank you. You know, I just couldn't verbalise everything that it meant. So I just said thank you. And he smiled and nodded, and I walked away, and my legs went to jelly afterwards. They went to jelly. And I've just realised I got the timeline of that entire event wrong. I had a photo up with Alex before all of that. So before the confusion with the Misha and the Jim and Mark line, I had a photo with Alex, and he was lovely. We did a hello up for that because that's Jack's thing. Jack's thing was always hello, you know. I don't do posed photos. Like, I don't usually ask them. I usually just go, oh, can we have a hug for the photo, or something simple like that. I'm not incredibly creative, and I'm very shy, and I don't like asking people to do things because I feel bad. I feel like, well, you're here to take a picture with me. I'm not going to ask you to do something, even though I know poses are totally fine. I just feel kind of weird asking. But then the craziest thing happened when I was leaving that room. So I was leaving that room to come out. You come out the hall that the photos are taken in, and there's like a bunch of corridors. Let me just tell you, if you're in the Hilton for this convention, it is nothing but corridors and like offshoots that go off to God knows where. Narnia. I spent most of this weekend lost. Narnia. It's like Narnia in there. So I wanted to smoke because I'd been in that photo op room since like 9:45, 9:30, 9:45. And at this point, I think it was about 11 or 12, and I was stressed and I was sweaty and I needed to smoke. Smoking is a very bad habit. Putting that out there. I'm not endorsing it, but I needed to smoke. So I was speed walking, trying to get through the doors. And it was like a big, there's like a load of doors. It's like a wall of doors you just walk through to get into the hallway that will lead you out to the smoking area. And I heard, "Hello, Irish girl." And I knew that voice because the voice is iconic. It was Mark Sheppard, who I had just had my photo with half an hour or an hour previous, and who I'd met yesterday at his autograph table. So I knew the voice straight away. I was walking and I just went, "Hello." And he was like, "How are you doing, sweetheart? You having a good weekend?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I went to say something, but then we went through the doors and there was like a big metal beam in between us. And I thought he would just walk away. He didn't. He came through the double doors and then walked over to walk beside me. And I was like, "Yeah, like it's great. I mean, it's a lot. It's very overwhelming." And he was like, "Yeah, it can be a lot." And then we came across, he was like, "Look." There was a little baby dressed as Castiel in a little trench coat with angel wings. He was like, "It's baby Castiel." And I was like, "Oh my God." And then I continued walking and he continued walking. And he was like, "Where are you off to?" And I was like, "I'm going to have to go have a smoke or I'm afraid I might deck someone into the head." And he was like, "I think it's best you do." And I was like, "I think it's best I do too." And he was like, "Well, I'm heading this way. I'll see you later." And I was like, "Bye-bye." And then I went out to the smoking area and was like, that just happened. And then actually later on in that day, I ended up in the smoking area with him again. I think it was like just coming out of a panel, or I was about to go in to get my next round of autographs. But I ran out to the smoking area and was frantically trying to light my cigarette. And then again heard that voice and was just like, and he was just casually standing there. I had a whole cigarette with Mark Sheppard. Not a lot of people can say that. Staying on the topic of Mark then, he had a panel at like sometime around 3 o'clock. And I've never asked a question at a panel because I'm too shy. I don't like the idea of doing that, which is crazy given what I do for a living. But I decided this time I'm going to do it. I'm going to go and I'm going to ask a question. So I went to Mark's panel. Actually, I went to the 2 panels beforehand as well. They were really good. And then it was Mark's turn. So Mark came, got on stage. I got into the right place because you had to queue. There was like a queuing system along a row of seats. I was second up. And I was going to ask, like, maybe I phrased it weird and it confused him, but he confused me just as hard. So I was going to ask, like, you know, the way I phrased it was, I have a YouTube, I do interviews, I interview people. It's more of a long form style of interview. And I know at press junkets that they can be quite short and quite quick. And then he was like, "Is this an ad?" And it just threw me. He was being sarcastic, but it threw me. And I was like, "No, there's a question in here. I'm just getting to it." And then I said, "So what kind of questions do you wish you had more time to answer? And what questions do you wish you got asked less of?" And I don't know what he said. He said something like, more money and less work or something like that. I just remember being bewildered. It's like my ears were ringing because I was so stressed. I was just like, okay, fair enough. And I just turned and handed the mic. Honestly, I think once I got up to that podium, I just absolutely checked out mentally. He does have a very sarcastic sense of humour, and not a lot of people know how to take that. Like I know somebody else got up, a guy got up to ask him a question, and Mark said something very snappy and sarcastic in response. I don't think he meant anything bad by it, but like I think the person that was asking the question took offence because they, at the end of their turn, he just kind of went fine and like slammed the microphone down the podium and like stormed off to his seat. And I could tell, I was like, ooh, yeah, that hurt you, that upset you. But Mark Sheppard is a really, really lovely person. It's just, he's got a very sarcastic sense of humour. Now it's time for my favourite part of the day. So with your Crossroads passes, you usually have, there's like 3 different ticket levels. Mine was just the regular ticket level. So you get your little lanyard that has your name on it and your number, which is cool. I've never had a lanyard with my name on it before. I felt very fancy. So the way it's done is you get some free autographs included in your ticket level. And then you, depending on your number on your badge, that will determine whether you go and meet this batch of free people for autographs on the Saturday or the Sunday. So mine just so happened all my free autographs were on the Sunday. So that was starting at around 3 or 4 o'clock. But because my ticket number was like 1113, or I think it was 1131, something like that. Because I was so later in the batch, I wasn't going to get to go in for my autographs until about 5 or 6. That was no good for me because I had to head to the airport. I was flying out that evening and I had to leave. So I went up to the door at about 3:15 and I was like, look, I know because of my badge number I'm too early, but is there any chance I could go in early because I have to go catch a flight? If not, that's okay. Like, I get it. And the lady was so nice. She was like, no, just go in. It's okay. Go in and get it done. Oh my God. There was something in the room. There was something in the air of this room. Okay. It was just, there was a vibe. So I went up to Jim Beaver and I had took notes after I met them exactly of what happened so I wouldn't forget, because I knew I'd forget. So I went up to him and I was like, hey, how's it going? And he was like, what? And I was like, how's it going? Like, how are you? Because it was very loud in there. I think he couldn't hear me. And he was like, oh, yeah, it's good. How are you? Are you enjoying yourself? And I was like, yeah, it's a lot. And he was like, yeah, like, it's so busy and there's a lot happening. I get it. And I was like, yeah, I mean, having everyone in like one space together, I've been waiting like 14 or 15 years to meet some of the cast because I've never met any of them. Well, I didn't say this to him, but like with the exception of Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I haven't met cast from the show. I keep forgetting that I've met him. But I was like, yeah, so like it's a lot, you know, to go from having never met anyone from the show to having met a bunch of people. Like I waited 15 years and everyone is so sweet and so lovely. And he was like, 15 years? So what, since you were like 1? And I was like, what? And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, I'm 27. We've been waiting like 15 years. I started the show when I was like 12 or 13. And he was like, no way. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, there's no way you're 27. And then I had the biggest ego boost of my life, let me tell you, because I wasn't really feeling myself all weekend long. I wasn't really, like, you know, I don't know, I just felt odd in myself, in my own skin. And he was just like, it was the way he said it, he was like, no. And then he said, oh, if you keep aging the way you're, well, he said something like, if you keep going the way you're going with aging, you're going to be fine. I was like, thank you so much, okay? Thank you, because I am 27 and my knees have started like cracking when I walk up the stairs, you know what I mean? And that's a little bit of a blow to the ego. Not that there's anything wrong with aging, there isn't, but you know what I'm saying. But I said to him, it's great to finally meet you. And he was like, it'll pass, sweetheart. And I was like, I don't think it will. Then there was Stephen. Let me just say, I fell in love with this man over this weekend. He plays Rufus on Supernatural, but he's also in 21 Jump Street. I love 21 Jump Street, but I was also raised on 21 Jump Street because of my mother. She watched it as a teen or young adult, so she pretty much grew up on it and then raised me on it. You know what I mean? So got up to Stephen, and let me just say, he's one of the funniest fuckers I have ever heard in my life. I went to his panel with Jim Beaver before the autograph session and was like, I can't wait to meet him. He is so funny. The two of them together are on fucking fire when it comes to humour. So I went up and his manager or his handler, the person who takes the money basically, she was so lovely. So I handed her my little autograph card, which is this. I think I might have shown you guys this over the weekend. I handed her that and she was like, oh my god, I love your hair, it's so pretty. And again, I'd been having a weekend of like, I feel like an ugly cave dwelling troll. So to get another compliment in the space of like 5 minutes, I was like, oh wow, thank you. And I went, really? I did it myself like a week or two ago and I wasn't really sure if I like it or not. And she's like, no, it's like really beautiful. And I was like, oh my god, thank you so much. Thank you. It's funny how like a little compliment like that can completely change your view of yourself on that particular day. So then she slid my poster to Stephen to be signed. And he went, hey, I love the hair, girlfriend. And I was like, thank you. So I said to him, it's crazy to finally meet you because I was raised on Jump Street. And he was like, no, you weren't. You wasn't raised on Jump Street. No way. And I was like, yeah, I was. And he was like, no, you were not old enough. You might have been raised on the reruns. And I was like, well, yeah, but my mother raised me on Jump Street. I was raised on that show. I knew you way before Supernatural because of Jump Street. And he was like, there's no way, you're not old enough. And I was like, having like war flashbacks to Jim's table. I was like, I'm 27. I was raised. And he was like, what? I was like, am I looking particularly childlike today or something? What is going on? And then I was like, so it's great to finally meet you. I'm here, I'm meeting you, like it's happening. And he was like, and I'm meeting you. And I was just like, thank you. And then he was like, have a lovely day, beautiful. It was great meeting you, whatever. And I was just like, oh my god, oh my god. I love him. So then there was Cindy, and there was a bit of confusion with this. Cindy played Lisa on Supernatural. And this is where I was just like, yeah, there's something in the air in this room, definitely. Maybe we're all a little bit tipsy or something, because something's not tracking. I went up to Cindy, who plays Lisa. And I went up to her handler, it's the person who handles like the money or the autograph cards. And I handed her my poster and this thing again. So, because they have to tick you off when you get your autograph. So she had seen that Stephen signed to Kate and then his autograph. And she saw that and went, oh, do you want it personalised? And I went, well, you could personalise it or not. Like, I don't mind. Because in my head, I'm thinking, if everybody writes to Kate, the poster's going to fill up very quick. So you don't all need to write my name. But I said, whatever you want. It's up to Cindy. So she slid the poster to her and said, you can personalise it if you want or not. And then Cindy looked at the poster and looked up at me and went... And I was like, oh, fuck, have I confused her? And I was like, what, you don't have to personalise it if you don't want it. It's totally fine. Like, I don't care. And I swear to God, I shit you not. No shits are being had right now. She looked me dead in the eye and she went, you are so pretty. I had a rolled up poster in my hand and I just remember physically like hiding behind it. I was like, what? She was like, you are so pretty. What the hell? And I was like, coming from you? She looks like a fucking model. And then I said, like, it's really weird meeting you all. Like, I'm so used to seeing you on TV and, you know, Supernatural's my comfort show. So I fall asleep watching the show. Your guys' faces, your faces are always on in my home, in my room. And she was like, isn't it so weird? Because she loves TV as well and like watching stuff. And she was like, isn't it, you feel like you know them. You feel like you know the people. And I was like, yeah, it's so strange. And I was like, it's my first Supernatural con that I've ever done. So like, I'm still kind of learning the ropes, but oh my God, it's amazing. And then she signed it, handed me back the poster. And I was like, oh, thank you for coming and for being here, you know, because I know it's a lot of energy and it's a lot of time for actors to dedicate to do conventions. I was like, thank you. And then she was like, you are seriously so pretty. Like, what the hell? I was like, I might faint. So then I got up to Todd. Todd is an absolute sweetheart. I'd been to his panel earlier in the day and he talked a lot about Dungeons and Dragons. I was like, instantly, I'll have something to talk to him about. Nice one. Because I always want to have a conversation with the person that I'm meeting. I don't go up to get something signed and just stand there silently. So I went up to him and I was like, hey, you having a good weekend? And he's like, oh yeah, like, it's so great because this is like stage door for actors. It's where you can meet fans and talk and like interact and be personal or personable, right? So I was like, yeah, like it's really great for us as well. I heard at your panel that you like D&D, and he was like, oh yeah, and he handed me a little card. I have it somewhere. I'll insert a picture. Because he's a Kickstarter starting soon for a new project that he's going to be working on. And I was like, have you ever seen Encounter Party? Because it's a great show. It's a great Dungeons and Dragons show. And he was like, oh yeah, like my friend is in it. And I knew straight away, and I was like, who's your friend? And he was like, Carrie Payton. And I was like, yeah, I know Carrie. He was like, oh my God, like that show is so good. And he loves Carrie. He was like, I saw Carrie just like a week or two ago. And he was like, I'm actually working on him in an upcoming project. And I was like, you are? Like, can you talk about it? And he was like, yeah, it's the new game that Carrie's going to be in. I can't remember the name. Is it Marvel something and a number or something? You guys know the exact game I'm talking about. The trailer just dropped for it recently. And he was like, I'm writing the story or I'm working on the story. And I went, fuck off. And he went, no, like for real. And I went, are you serious? Like, are you fucking serious? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, dude, I saw the trailer for that game. It looks great. And he was like, that's what I'm working on. So I feel like I had like a really good conversation with all of those people. It was lovely to meet them and talk to them. And I don't know, there was something in the air in that room that day. I swear to God, that was a great moment of the day. Another note that I made that I wanted to talk about was that Alex had an absolutely banging playlist going on at his photo ops. One of the songs, one of the notes I made was Al Cal's photo line playlist. Wow. They played Run by Snow Patrol. I like that song a lot. So then I had to go from the autograph, say goodbye to all the girls. Because like I said, I knew Megan, she's a friend of mine, and she introduced me to a load of new people. And I ended up becoming friends with them over the weekend, and it was lovely. So we all said goodbye to each other. We're all meeting up next week actually at Liverpool again, which is going to be insane. So we all said goodbye to each other, and then I had to get my bag from the bag drop, go back through the NEC, and get on the train thing that brings you back to the airport. And it was grand. From there on, like it was a really long day, because like I said, I've been up since like 6, and by the time I made it home into my bed, it was about 2:30. So it was a long day, but it was so good. And then I got up this morning, and I'm currently trying to put together my outfits for this upcoming weekend, because I'm doing Liverpool Comic Con, and I want to get my stuff ready. I'm also, Les is coming over tomorrow, so I'm picking him up from Dublin Airport. We're spending the day. No, we're staying overnight in Dublin. We're staying overnight. We're coming home on the Wednesday, the day after tomorrow. Then we're going to go to my brother's show here in Limerick. So, it's all busy, but in the best way.